Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. It's just that easy.
It's just that easy.
I don't sound like you when I say bada bing, bada boom.
It still sounds good though.
Yeah, okay.
G'day viewers, it's Edward Fox and Lisa Smith with the Bada Bing, Bada Boom podcast.
It's just that easy.
It is just that easy. And our special guest today is Dawn. And Dawn, as a way of introduction, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm Dawn Keene. I'm owner of Ideal Feet in Wichita, Kansas. I am a arch support fitting specialist. So we do the custom fitted orthotics, arch supports. Those terms are synonymous. That will support your feet, that will help with various ailments such as back pain, knee pain, hip pain. And that's because they provide a proper alignment of the foot, which is the foundation of the body.
Yeah, you and I were on a networking call earlier today, and you were saying that like how much weight we support just on our feet. What is it? What percentage?
So our feet are only 2% of our body mass, but supporting 98% of our body mass.
No wonder my feet are tired.
Well, and your feet also have the highest concentration of bones, joints, tendons, ligaments, muscles, and nerve endings than the rest of your body.
And actually, we were just in Wichita a couple of weeks ago, checking on the house and the kids, and Alice and I went to Dawn's shop, and Alice got her, I think it's her second. Is it her first or a second pair of shoes? Second pair of shoes.
First pair of shoes, but she's got two different arch supports that are designed for different activities.
Oh, okay.
So that's the main core of what we do. Is the arch supports are designed to fit in virtually any shoe that somebody wants to wear, including sandals and high heels for ladies.
So Dawn, for those that don't know, can you walk us through that process about how someone gets an arch support that specifically fits them, no one else?
Sure. So our arch supports are prefabricated, meaning that they're already formed. So they come in varying sizes, varying styles, different strengths. So when somebody comes in, we take a kind of a health history or a client history. They walk us through what their daily activities are. We also do a full foot assessment. So we're checking for range of motion, which is biomechanics. Then we also check for loss of sensitivity, so nerve endings. And then we do a footprint, and that footprint tells us where they are putting a good majority of the weight. It also helps us to determine if their feet are pronating or supinating, or the ankles are. And then also lets us know if they're putting a lot of weight on the ball of the foot, maybe the heel, which can lead to conditions like, your plantar fasciitis, or some people will get at the front of the foot, the ball of the foot will start to go numb or inflame. So based on that information, we'll determine, and it also lets us see if their arches are starting to, I hate to use the term collapse, but that's kind of what they do under the natural weight. But it lets us know what the arch is. Is it a normal arch? Is it high? Is it flat? Then based off of that, then we properly fit them in the proper support. And they're sized specifically for their feet. So, just because we have a size 8 shoe does not mean that their arch length is a size 8. So it's not a one size fits all. And your feet actually have 4 arches. So these are designed to sit right in the center of all 4 arches to allow for a proper alignment of the foot and the ankle.
So I am thinking runners must love your business. And what other people besides somebody who's doing a lot of running would be your perfect client?
So we have a lot of labor workers, so people that are on their feet, so construction workers, linemen. We've even got professional athletes. And then we have children. The youngest one that I have fitted is 4 years old, just to help with pronation. And so, really everybody can benefit from these, even on a preventative measure, because if we can get it on a preventative, then we don't have to chase the problems that have occurred. So, I get waitresses, waiters, I have tons of people that work at Sam's, Walmart. So it really runs a whole gamut. And then I have professionals. I've got golf players, your high executive professionals that are in dress shoes all the time and their feet hurt because the dress shoes are crimping the feet. So they'll even fit in those types of things.
So, and my wife's a pharmacist, so she's on her feet up to 12 hours a day. And Lisa, you've got a nursing background, so I would imagine nurses would be another good one for you too, Dawn.
Absolutely. I've got a lot of nursing staff, especially through, the whole COVID thing where they have had to be in the frontline workers. And as a matter of fact, there's a new condition, and it's a general condition that's evolving that's called it's COVID related biomechanical imbalance syndrome. So it's a long syndrome, but it's a general syndrome that is people that have been on their feet or inactive. So when people have been inactive like we have over the last 18 months, and then try to get up and start going back and to the gym and running a mile or anything like that, their muscles and their tendons and their ligaments tend to atrophy due to inactivity. So when they start to try to reuse them, then we're getting plantar fasciitis. We're getting a rise in turf toe and bunions and injuries. We're starting to see a lot of injuries due to the inactivity.
I haven't played cricket for a year, and so we're out on a cricket field for about 6 hours where we're standing all day. So think like a baseball doubleheader, and so we're there for a long time. And so when I get back to playing that, I'm definitely going to need some arch supports for my cricket shoes, that sort of thing too, right? So Dawn, let's move this over to barter. How did you hear about Trade Bank?
Actually, it was first of all, from my cousin. He used Trade Bank many years ago when he had a business here in Wichita. Since then he's been in the military and is now in Virginia. But he talked about trade when we first opened our business, and we didn't decide to do it until last fall, but it was one of the best decisions that we ever made. And originally we got into Trade Bank because we wanted to be able to divert some of our cash flow for our advertising. And little did I know it was going to turn into so much more.
So expand on that. When you say what you just said, expand on some of those highlights that you hit. What more did it turn into?
Well, it turned into, first of all, turned into a great networking tool. So I'm actually getting to see business owners. They come in and they spend their trade with me. And then of course I reach out to other businesses to spend our trade. So, but on the other side of that, not only did it create trade dollars coming in and further that communication and community with the trade bank, but it also has related to cash flow coming in. So of the ones that are coming in and using our services on Trade Bank, of course, they're going back and talking to family and friends, and it's pushing actual cash customers into our facility.
And was that something that you were surprised by?
I knew that that's what the ultimate goal was, but I wasn't sure how it, was going to all turn out. And, it took a good probably 6 or 8 months before we started seeing that return, but it's been amazing.
So would you say for your investment, the $4.95 sign up in Trade Bank, that you've seen a multiplication of the return on your investment?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It has paid for itself time and time again. And through the one thing that's been nice is even through through COVID, of course, we've had to reduce our workforce, but instead of taking away bonuses and commissions completely from our employees, we just restructured a little bit. So they're still getting their hourly rate, but now their commissions and bonuses are paid on trade. And they absolutely love it because they can go out and they can get their nails done, their hair done, get family photos taken, go to supper, and it's not taking away from their own personal money that they have to use to live on. And they can still maintain a quality of fun and lifestyle that they want to do.
Right. Yeah, that to me is important. It allows us as small business owners or business owners in general to give them some benefits and to give them some lifestyle increases that we wouldn't have been able to do because the cash just isn't there. So the Trade Bank has been really great at filling in the gaps for me.
Right. And the other thing that it does for us is, we're small enough that we don't offer like health insurance benefits and stuff. and being able to give them trade dollars, they can go out and they can get, eye care, or they can get dental care or chiropractic care. So they have those services that are available, and that they can use their trade dollars versus paying out of pocket for it.
Right. And I think Wichita, we just signed up a doctor as
That's
well.
absolutely brilliant. I was just talking to a local business owner.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I'm sorry, y'all. Start that over. I'm sorry.
It just froze a little
bit. That's a fabulous idea. I was just talking. I don't know what's going on today, man. I'm just going to sit here and nod. Y'all go ahead.
I'll break. You can talk.
That is fantastic. I was literally just talking to a small business owner before we started this podcast about using his trade dollars, a local HVAC company, for dental and vision and all the things, Dawn, that you were talking about that you do for your employees. So it works everywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing. One of the things, even as a business owner through COVID and stuff, as a business owner, if you're not generating revenue, then of course you're not taking money out of the business. And so, one way that I can divert having to take as much money out of the business to pay for the things that I like to do, I have myself, I pay myself in trade dollars so I can go get my hair done and my nails done and go out to eat once in a while that I wouldn't normally do. So, that's a benefit for the business owners as well.
Exactly. And one of the things I talk to a lot of people about is people say, when I make trade bank dollars, they have to stay in the business and they have to be used for business. And I said, hang on a second, aren't you taking cash dollars out of your business to use for your lifestyle? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, instead of taking all those cash dollars, just like you said, Dawn, what about you take some of those in trade bank dollars? Oh, I can do that? Well, yeah, it doesn't work any different than cash, but it saves the cash in the business and allows you, like you just said, to get the things you want done on trade. And sometimes it's just a mindset shift that people have to understand barter, and especially a multi-directional platform like Trade Bank, where people can come in and barter with you, but you don't necessarily have to barter with them because it all goes through the bank. So you can barter with anybody within the 4,500 members nationwide that use Trade Bank.
Right. And our accountant told us that, as long as we do when we send her the books at the end of the year, we just have to let her know what we have personally used on trade versus trade for the business. And then she separates it out tax purpose wise, because what we take out on trade is considered income. So then it's 1099 to us, right. Only we're not issuing a 1099.
Right. And so one of the easy way, I will give this tip to any business owner out there, is you can go into mytradebank.com and you can create an affiliate account.
Right.
And then I use, for me personally, I have a business card, which all my Trade Bank business card costs go on. And then I am an affiliate of my business so that it was easy to track all my personal spend. So I just did Edward Fox, the business owner. And so my business expenses go on that Trade Bank card. And then I gave myself an affiliate card that I called Ed Fox. So anything I do personally, I put on the Ed Fox card, and then it's already broken out on the statements. Right. And it worked really well. So it's a little tip. Lisa's still having challenges. That's okay.
I just really can't say enough on what it has been able to allow us to do.
So when you talk to, if somebody comes to you and says, oh, I'm looking at this Trade Bank thing, what do you like to make them aware of, or how do you talk to them about that?
I tell them they can't afford not to. Simply because if they want to grow their business, then it's something that they need to be a part of, because you're reaching a whole different demographic of people. The thing that I have noticed is the customers that Trade has brought to me are customers that would normally not come in through my doors because they don't feel like that they can afford the expense. And so having the trade dollars to spend has allowed them that luxury, or afforded them that luxury, of coming in and actually spending money to get, their healthcare needs taken care of.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we just signed an actual medical doctor in Wichita. They have a clinic that we can now send clients to on trade dollars instead of paying cash for a medical doctor too.
That's awesome. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's the health. One thing that I mean, I spent 33 years in the medical industry, and that's my background. So the healthcare industry is actually shifting. There are more and more doctors that are getting away from filing insurance because of the high deductibles, the high write-offs. People can't afford the copays and deductibles anymore, so high collection costs. So doctors are getting to the point that they're actually pulling away from filing insurance, maybe other than Medicare or Medicaid, but for private insurances and stuff, they're starting to go on a cash basis.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're going to see a lot of doctors and professionals come on Trade Bank and barter their goods and services because it's going to be a lot easy to work for a lot of business owners.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's more beneficial. And if you think about it, if anybody's familiar with the concierge services, it's very similar to the concierge services. So,
right.
I mean, the quality of care is not any different if you're paying cash, paying barter, paying, with insurance. They don't usually do a difference in the quality of service. It's just like for me as a business owner, my quality of service doesn't change if they are a cash customer or whether they're a trade bank customer, because to me, trade bank is cash.
Right. Do you have a favorite trade bank story?
Yeah, my favorite trade bank story is probably going to be my biggest revenue generator, which would be, the whole purpose that we joined Trade Bank was to divert some of our advertising dollars. So working with a TV station that's on Trade Bank, it has afforded us the luxury to really saturate that demographic or that area of the advertising, because it's on trade, B, they're cost effective. And so, and I have spent thousands of dollars on the big network TVs and stuff with zero return on it. And this has been my, working with this other TV station has been my biggest return on investment. Been advertising with them almost right at 8 months now. And it has paid for itself over and over and over again.
That's great. And that's great to hear, because getting those guys on, they weren't sure that we would be able to bring them business. And now we're bringing them a lot of business. And the clients that are using them are seeing a good return on their investment. I think you're doing what, 200 ads a month?
Yeah, we're doing 200 30-second commercials a month for roughly $400.
So like $2 an ad. That's pretty good.
And as a matter of fact, we just, of course, I don't know what the cost involved is yet, but we are just getting ready to run our first infomercial, which will be a 30-minute infomercial on that network.
Oh, wow.
As well.
That is awesome. That's going to be exciting for you guys and exciting for us too. So we're looking forward to that.
How it's intended to work is, it brings the businesses the cash customers as well. But because we have had such good results, I'm part of a franchise. So now on a global franchise level for our company, we're now working with the station general manager to broker stuff for the other franchise owners so they can do the same thing, but that will be cash versus trade.
Right. So that will help him too. So the other thing you might want to do is if you have any offices in or any franchises in trade bank areas, you might also talk to them about that as well.
I already have.
Okay. So any last thoughts? Lisa's having some connectivity issues over Zoom. That is technology happens like that occasionally with internet and everything else. But any last thoughts you would like to share with a person that's maybe listening, that's either a current Trade Bank member or maybe they're looking at Trade Bank to become a member? Any last thoughts you'd like to share with them?
The biggest thing is if you don't understand how to use trade, then you're going to be disappointed in it. You have to understand how to utilize it. And once you're in it, utilize it. Don't just sit back and say, I can't find any place to spend my money, because there are tons of places to spend your money. It's whether you choose not to spend it or not. And then if you're thinking about coming on trade, reach out to some of the members and talk to the members. Most of the members have been members for a very long time. I don't think I'm wrong on that.
No. Yeah. So that is true. So it's always good to talk to a few members. Understand the number one complaint in barter across the country, or actually around the world. My sister and my uncle do it in Australia. They're with a barter company down there. And their biggest concern is, we don't know how to spend our trade dollars. So it's an education process. What happens? Right. You and I are both the same, right? We're business owners. There's 400 things we've got to get done in a day. So we go, oh yeah, this looks good. We make a decision. We sign up for Trade Bank, and then we don't know how to use it. But we don't want to allocate the time to learn how to use it. And so then we get disappointed that it doesn't do what it should do. That was me. I don't know about you, but that was me. And so I finally called up the guy and said, look, I'm frustrated. I don't know how to use this. And he sat me down, he taught me, and I ended up buying the franchise. And now I've got 2 franchises and we're building it. But that was the issue, is that you've got to spend the time to learn. And it's well worth spending the time to learn, because it will save you thousands and thousands of dollars. And then I've got a facetious question. How much commission do we charge you on your cash customers that Trade Bank brings you?
That Trade Bank brings me? 0.
Right. There you go. See, so people don't realize that when they get a referral from a Trade Bank member that brings them a cash customer, Trade Bank's not making any money on that. That is a goal for them, is to bring cash business to your business. A lot of times you can't tell that it came from a Trade Bank client. When you get to have that conversation with them, it's not like they're driving through a coffee shop drive-through. They're not going to say, oh, my friend Fred bought a coffee here and he said I should come and get a coffee here. But you get to talk to them a little bit and like, well, how did you find out about us? And they say, oh, well, John and Mary told us this is where they, and then, John and Mary are Trade Bank customers. And so this is a Trade Bank referral. Right. But I like to point out that we don't charge any cash commissions on cash referrals. That's pretty sweet. So I like the integrity of the Trade Bank franchise system, and I appreciate you being a fabulous client of Trade Bank, and hopefully for many, 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 many years
Absolutely.
to come.
Well, one of the other things that we do is we buy gift certificates for local restaurants, coffee shops, that kind of stuff. And then when we have customers come in, when somebody sends me a referral, because I always ask our customers how they heard about us. And so when I know that somebody has sent us a referral, I send them a thank you card with a gift certificate in it to one of those local establishments. And so therefore I'm not only helping with the trade, but I'm also helping push the cash customers in. So, and it's a great way for me to thank my customers because that's the best testimonial that any business can have, is a referral from a current customer.
Exactly. Great point. Hey, thanks, Dawn, for being a guest. If people want to reach out to you or get in contact with you, maybe they're in the area that you're at. You can't really work virtually, right? Or can you?
Not typically.
Right.
And that's just because we have to be able to
fit them and
yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. But if they're in the Wichita area or within a couple of hours of Wichita and they want to make a trip to see you and get some shoes, what's the best way for them to reach out? Probably just get on the app and look for you.
Yeah, we're on Google, so that'll give them directions to our location. If you're familiar with the Wichita area, we're just south of K96 on Rock Road. And then, of course, our website. If you're interested in what we do, you can go to our website, which is idealfeetwichita.com, and talks about the different pain things that we see and help with. It talks about who we are, what we are accomplishing. Our franchise is growing rapidly. We now have 7 locations in 5 states. So, and consistently expanding even through COVID. So we don't plan on going anywhere. We're going to be here for a while.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Dawn, for being on the show, and we appreciate your insight. Have a great day.
Well, thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
G'day again. Well, that's it for this episode of the Barter Bing Barter Boom podcast with your hosts, Lisa Smith and Ed Fox. Be sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform and like us on YouTube and Facebook as well. Hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Have a great day.